Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to jump on here really quick today and give a really quick short video because a lot of people have reached out to me about everything going on in our world right now. It's towards the end of 2020. There's a lot of tension with presidential things and politics stuff and all kinds of things. And so I really wanted to, and if you've been watching my channel, you know I'm not a big fan of politics in general, but I do feel like I need to kind of address this a little bit. And so I just kind of jotted down some notes. I'll do a little bit of channeling to see if my guides have anything else they want to add to this. But yeah, I think this is really necessary for today. So right now we're kind of in between. And so there's not yet a decision made. And so we're kind of in between candidates right now. And so I posted something. This is from a channeling and just a meditation, a nice, good meditation I did on Monday, Monday and Tuesday actually. And I was kind of debating if I wanted to make a video. And then today I just felt this driving force that and my guides were telling me like, jump on, do this video. So here it is. So it's a little bit more like off the cuff and kind of just really quick little video. Okay, so my guides wanted me to explain that all of the people at a lower frequency and vibration, that 3D type person, that three-dimensional lower vibrational energy that operate on fear, they do not understand the need for deep, deep, deep change. And they are so willing to hold on to their old programming, their old patterns, their old beliefs, the old systems that they will, and because they're comfortable with those, right? Not that they're right, they're just comfortable with them. They will choose those and then suffering before they'll choose change. They are so terrified of change because to them, change means the unknown, uncertainty, and absolute fear. But change is the only constant thing we have. Change is absolutely necessary. It is absolutely beautiful. So to not change means you are creating suffering for yourself, okay? And so we're in a time right now where we have like 50% of the population is over to the right, 50% of the population is over the left, and then we've got light workers in the middle. Okay, so if you're watching this video, you probably are a light worker, even if you don't know it yet. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be interested in the things that I say, right? So here's my point, and this is to my light workers, my starseeds, the gatekeepers, the energy workers. I don't care what your title is. I usually use the broad term light worker because I feel like that includes everyone. It's time for us to hold space, and more than ever. And it's not about, and this was my last video too, it's not about the left and right. It's not about who wins. What this is about is unity and oneness. So we need to be open and hold the space for whomever is needed to hold that space for things to change. Change is not easy. Change is uncomfortable, but good comes from change. We've got a ton more things to change. So this whole chaoticness that we've been experiencing in 2020, I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. I don't think just because, December, flips the switch into January 2021 that everything magically is going to change, right? No, we need change, which means we have to figure out where we need to change, how we need to change, plans to change. That takes time. And there is no one person, especially with the options we have right now, that is going to be the freaking hero. Okay, so my light workers, my starseeds, right? We have to hold the space for what is best for all involved. And that may be someone that only continues to shine light on all the corruption, that only continues to almost make, we'll say maybe mistakes, which aren't really mistakes, right? In how we see things, because the person that has been in place for a couple of years has done one thing very well, and it is to go against the system and shine light on things that are a disaster and need to change, which is everything, right? So, and I'm very neutral, okay? I'm very, very neutral. I don't have an opinion either way because it's not going to It's not the hero. I'm not looking for a hero, right? I'm willing to put in the work for myself. I'm willing to do my shadow work and drum up old traumas and things like that so I can let those go and I can heal. That is exactly what is happening as a collective right now. All the shadow work is coming up. This is the anxieties and the dramas and the fear-based crap. It is rising. This is the collective doing their shadow work, right? So we need somebody that can literally stir the pot more. We need somebody to simply hold the space. We are not ready to take on this next chapter of, like unicorns and roses and everything's great. We haven't done the work. We're still in the process of doing the work. And so it doesn't matter who. This is about holding the space for who will serve us best towards the growth and change that we need eventually, right? Okay, so let me collect my thoughts on that for a second. There's a couple other things that I wanted to address. So my guides really wanted me to explain that we've got to hold space for peace, harmony, compassion, understanding, change. That's what we should be focusing on right now. So light your candles, set up a little crystal grid, meditate, love on your loved ones and your animals, and sit outside, enjoy the air, put your feet in the sand, do all these things that are beautiful and grounding where you can feel at peace. Because remember, our energy ripples out and has an effect. And even though we're still in the process of this kind of like purging situation, it is getting us through, right, to the other side. And we can play a game and win every time, but we don't learn that way. It's usually when we fall down, when we fail, when we make a mistake, where we really, really have to look at ourselves, evaluate the situation, and we learn from that and grow. That's what's happening, right? If we just continue with our little blinders on, going on about our day all the time, we're not making changes. We're not growing, right? So they're telling us to focus on the love, the peace, the calm, all of that, right? Because it'll lead us always in the right direction. Okay, so here's the other thing that they wanted me to explain. The veil is incredibly thin right now. That means parallel universes are kind of rubbing shoulders up against each other, and we can manifest like that. And we're able to have, I can't tell you how many people have had profound meditations and interactions with their spirit guides and other light body beings, and they're learning all this huge spiritual growth stuff. It's because the veil is very thin. There's not as much resistance right now, or heavier energy right now. It's kind of in this chaotic shift, but amongst that chaos, it allows us to really blossom and grow, and that's a beautiful thing, right? A beautiful thing. I thought this was really cool too. My guides told me on Tuesday that this was, and I want to say it right, so let me look at my little notes really quick. They said this is one of the largest collective energetic phenomenon ever recorded. And they went on to say, remember, we, your guides, your angels, your light body beings, we stand with you and we support you and your efforts to fulfill your purpose. Remember who you are, what you're capable of, and why you chose to come here right now. They did tell me that the most difficult timelines with the most suffering have kind of faded away, but that doesn't mean that we're done. We still have a lot of growth and things that we need to fix and change. But they did say the more difficult timelines have begun to shift away. This is another huge demonstration of the beautiful power you as an individual and the collective have. Continue to fill yourself with peace, love, and light. And do not become distracted by fear or other illusions. You are beautiful light body beings. You know this. You have witnessed this. Embrace your truth. So I posted that on my like Instagram and Facebook page, because I thought it was just so powerful. But even still, I felt like my guides were like, that's not enough, do a video. And I'm like, okay. So with that kind of message, I'm gonna now, I kind of gave you the meat and potatoes here, but I'm gonna now connect and ask if there's anything else that they want me to throw out or mention. I kind of feel like I've touched on everything, but let's just see. Okay. They're saying that if you are standing on the left, and I've said this before, if you're standing on the left or you're standing on the right, you're missing the point, because both ends have very different concepts, ideas, perceptions, beliefs, and they're completely polar opposite. But it's time for us to stop polarizing, and it's time for us to neutralize. And so my guides are saying that you're completely missing the point if you're checking the numbers and you're sitting there in fear and you're like sweating bullets. And stop. You are feeding fears. Whoever needs to win is going to be the exact right person that will take humanity and the collective to the very next step. It's not a hero. This roller coaster ride ain't over, right? But they're saying it's the exact what it needs to be. And no one should, and no one I don't think can tell you exactly, oh, the left or the right. They're not gonna do that, and they shouldn't, right? Because there's so many free will choices. There's so much people holding space, yet there's so many people that have this amplitude of fear, right? So there's so much energy and things going on right now. But my guides want me to know that you are loved, you are supported, you are taken care of. Let go of these fears. Know that the best possible outcomes will happen because they're necessary. And it's funny, this just popped in my head. Have you guys ever dated someone and you were just really into them for the first couple weeks or months, and you're like, oh my God, this is so great. And then you kind of broke up, or they just stopped calling or whatever. And you're just like a little, I wouldn't say heartbroken, but you're really upset. Like, what the hell? Like, what happened? I thought this was going great. And then later you kind of put things together and you see maybe more of their true colors, and you're like, oh my gosh, I totally dodged that bullet, right? That's kind of what they're explaining to me. They're like, sometimes when you really, really want something, and they're saying like, don't hold on to that one thing so much. Hold on to it like this and let it shift and move as needed, because the very thing you may need is not that thing, And so that's what they're saying. They're kind of telling me, don't hold on to it. Don't hold over here. Don't hold over there. Like, don't get so rigid. They're like, let go, relax, let it happen, whatever it needs to do, because you create your reality. And your reality, if you're sitting there in a fear-based thought process, you're creating a fear-based reality. You've voted, you've done what you need to do, you've done all you can do. Now you get to sit back. Whatever happens is what is necessary for all of us, right? To get us through that next phase. And so, yeah, that's one of the major things that they wanted to drive home. Let me see if they have more. Okay, they're telling me that timing is everything, which is hilarious because they also talk about how there's no such thing as time. But they're saying to me that timing is everything. And it's time for us to shift and change. It's time for us to have the fog wiped away. It's time for us to see things for what they really are. It's time for us to, which we've started to do, which is beautiful, think for ourselves. It's time for us to stop listening to everything that we're being told, and for us to be like, let me fact check that. Let me see if that rings true to me. Let me see if I believe in the message that you're delivering, right? We're starting to do that. And my guides are like, this is what is necessary for you to let go of all this old energy and transition and shift to a higher frequency. So they're like, basically now they want us to do a lot of like nurturing. And I don't want to say guarding energy, but I do want to say like being very consciously aware of how much energy you give out and how much energy you like offer, or you allow others to interact with. And I don't want to say like protect yourself, because that's a fear-based thing. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, and I just talked to a friend about this too, because I love what I do. And sometimes I spend, extra time with my clients, and that's beautiful and that's fine. But it's so funny but I need to measure what is a fair and equal exchange. And so I needed to kind of realize and have a conversation with myself, like, okay, this is my allotted time for this person. 3 times that is too much, right? It's too much. So that's kind of what they're showing me. It's like how much time and energy you're willing to like put out. You need to kind of, I think moms are really guilty of this, is like giving 100% to everybody and everything, especially your children. And then you're just utterly depleted. And eventually it really causes harm to yourself. And it takes a long time for us to sometimes learn that giving absolutely everything is actually more like self-sabotage. And so it's better for us to give, like 75%, 80%, 90% and keep something for ourselves. So what my guides are telling me is that we need to give 75% of ourselves and hold more space for ourselves, because there's just a lot going on. We need to kind of like bubble up and just kind of hold, almost pull ourselves back, right? And I can tell you too, guys, that in the last like week or two, I've been really relieved, and all of this tensions and all these things, as the election had gotten a little bit closer, I'm like, whew, thank goodness, because I'm thinking to myself, I can really pull myself out. And that's what we really need to do. We need to pull ourselves out of that fear-based consciousness and pull away and kind of sit in a space, a loving, peaceful, calming space, and just let everything unfold how it needs to. So, okay, that's kind of the message for today. I hope it wasn't too long-winded. I really just wanted to throw that out there. I felt like I needed to explain this to everybody, and I just hope that it finds you well. I hope that you find peace in this message. I hope that it rings true to you and it makes sense for you. And of course, I always send you all love and light.